The first site we put Dejero in was in basically a 2 square mile facility. When we're clearing out a 2 square mile area, there is no fiber anywhere in the area because they're able to look at where the location is and then pick the best products for connectivity to start out with right from day one.
Hello, I'm Ivy Cuervo. Welcome to Critical Connections, a podcast that features the stories of the people and companies helping to keep our communities connected, informed, and safe. Driving by a construction site, most of us might not give it a second glance, but industry insiders know that these days, construction sites are the hubs of innovation and high tech. Many job sites are embracing technology to improve workflows and efficiencies, allowing everyone from project managers to architects, contractors, and clients to make more informed decisions based on real-time data. It's pretty exciting stuff. Someone who knows firsthand is my guest today, Rick Bertoncin. He's a director of IT and security at Gallagher-Kaiser. That's a Michigan-based general contractor specializing in the construction of paint finishing systems, commercial and industrial HVAC, and mechanical automotive systems. Thanks for being here, Rick.
Thanks for having me, Evie.
Also joining our conversation is James Kay, Dejero's Business Development Manager for the enterprise sector. Happy to have you with us, James.
Thanks, Evie. I'm excited to be here to talk about Dejero's smart blending technology.
Well, let's get started. Rick, tell us about your company, Gallagher-Kaiser. It's in construction, obviously, but the focus is on building out paint shops for automotive manufacturers.
Sure, Evie. So our paint shops are typically million square foot facilities. We're 5 layers tall, and takes us 4 to 5 years to build these out. So we start with groundbreaking, leveling, and bringing our partners and our subcontractors into the situation right at the very beginning. So it's very important for us to have connectivity from the get-go.
You're talking about locations that are anywhere from you're building 1 million square foot buildings. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's all huge facilities. And like I say, 5 years to build these out sometimes. And it's amazing, the amount of different technologies going into these plants as we build them out. Collisions, we're looking at things with virtual reality and detecting collisions and everything else. So a lot of infrastructure needed to help us get these jobs done quickly.
Rick, you and I have chatted before, and I remember you saying something that stayed with me, and it was, without a doubt, paint shops are by far the most technically advanced area of automotive manufacturing. I would have never guessed that. At the same time, anyone who works in construction knows a major pain point is essentially having reliable connectivity on a job site. Take us through some of those challenges.
Sure. I mean, as we first launched through a job site, we'll bring a single trailer out and then expand that to up to 14 trailers folded together, right? So it becomes a virtual brick and mortar environment for us. And we'll put 100 people into that virtual brick and mortar. So it becomes one of our offices for a 5-year period. Not only that, but we have our subsidiaries and our business partners that are also on that site. And all of those companies are all connected together through their trailer infrastructure. So it becomes a trailer city that providing that infrastructure, the communication, and then for Trailer City, and that's just the beginning, because we go out to the job site, and as we're building the job sites, what we're doing is we're doing virtual reality to see how the things are being built and how it looks when the plant's half finished, and then we're doing fly-throughs to see how the collisions might occur, or even looking for workers and what the height or requirements might be for a person to work in a specific area of a job site once it's finished.
I remember you mentioning at one point that there's a lot of data sensitive objects or tools. And so viewing them at the job site while construction is still underway is actually quite critical. Can you kind of break that down a bit for us?
So as we put job sites together, we have all of our subsidiaries give us their drawings, the plumbing, the mechanical piping, the electrical. We put those together in our tool sets, and we check for collisions, electronic in the drawings. When you get out to a job site, almost it never ends up being exactly like the drawings, whether that's the vendors coming out and moving things themselves. So what we do is, as these are being built out, we bring out virtual reality and augmented reality tools that we can have the customer look through, have our partners look through at the job site as the walls are going up. So some walls may be up, some may not be. We can look through that and see how everything is lining up. And we can do a double check and see if people are building things in the right area, where the collisions may occur, and things like that. So it's a lot of technology that we need. We need the good bandwidth coming into these plants, into these facilities as we build this out.
James, do you connect with customers in the construction industry all the time? What else are you hearing?
Yeah, I mean, Rick brings up some really good points, and we're hearing similar things from other general contractors that are out there in the industry. I will say that Rick's team seems to be one of the more advanced general contractors that's out there in terms of their adoption of virtual reality and digital twin technology. With that being said, some general contractors are just simply looking for an internet connection for the construction trailer. Others are more like Rick, where they're looking to use a site net solution for distributing that internet signal that Dejero brings to the construction trailer across the entire construction site. So there's lots of initiatives, lots of opportunities for providing connectivity to cut down on operational inefficiencies and to really streamline operations for folk, whether it comes to, laborers falling behind on jobs and needing to bring in more staff to get back onto project schedule, or whether it's folks that are just saying, hey, I need to know what materials I need to expedite, and I'm in a rural, remote location. It's hard for me to make that call to Home Depot or Lowe's to get that material on order. Having internet connectivity on the site brought to you by Dejero is really impactful to your day-to-day operations.
Yeah, I've always said that you can have the greatest technology and the most advanced technology, but if there is no internet, it's good for nothing. It's just, it's not going to do what it's meant to really do. Rick, I understand that you and your team discovered Dejero at a trade show and decided to give it a try. Tell us about that experience.
So, the first site we put Dejero in was in basically a 2 square mile facility. And one of the things that really came alive for us there was the fact that the Dejero boxes are pre-configured with either cellular service or other services that can be used in these locations. So when we're clearing out a 2 square mile area, there is no fiber anywhere in the area. There is no broadband anywhere in the area. So we're utilizing, in a lot of cases, either Starlink or cellular service. So it really helped us out because they're able to look at where the location is and then pick the best products for connectivity to start out with right from day one.
James, I think one of the devices that Rick is talking about is a Dejero Gateway 211, which provides the critical connectivity needed to get the work done more effectively at construction sites. Tell us a bit about that and smart blending technology.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ivy. So the 211 gateway from Dejero is a 3-modem 4G LTE gateway. We typically include SIM cards from all of the carriers that we have available to us, and we're we're aggregating the data from all of those different connections. So we're giving customers a much fatter data pipe to transmit and receive across. But in addition to that, we're also continually monitoring the latency across each of those connections. So at any given time on a real-time dynamic basis, we know which of those connections has the highest quality of service for us to, or the clearest path for us to transmit and receive packets across. So what that ultimately results is a much more resilient, reliable connection that Rick can use for, uploading some of those virtual design and construction files, the building information models, live video from a security camera or from a WebEx or conference call like this. So we really bring that to the table with Dejero's smart blending technology and give people that resilient, reliable connection that they're looking for in rural, remote locations.
When you say day one internet to people who are in the construction center, many of them know that that's not really true, but Dejero has certainly brought something to the table that changes that. Rick, I know that some outside the industry may be surprised to learn that modern construction sites like yours are using all sorts of high tech, from drones to virtual reality, and you even have a virtual reality department. So talk to us about how reliable, critical connectivity is so important for your team, especially those who are not physically on site.
We use a lot of virtual reality inside the plant as it's being built. So there's a whole different level of technology and connectivity that we need in the plants, but in our virtual brick and mortar buildings, we also have facilities where we can show customers how the vehicles are being painted, how the car comes through with our virtual reality rooms. They can bring in their workers and determine how tall or how short a person has to be to work in an area that's being built correctly. So they now have requirements of height. A person, I can give you a specific example. All workers in a certain area have to be between 5'4" and 5'10" to optimize, the human factors of putting in the parts that they need to put in. Well, they can look at that and bring workers into our trailer city, and they can actually put the headsets on and perform their tasks. And we can bring in somebody that's 6 foot tall, for example, and see how they can't reach, can't maneuver in that area. So it's and that's an example of something that we discovered as we were doing this with customers and building this stuff out. So it's tremendous on how we can train not only the workers at a time before the plant's even built, but we can also define, who needs to work where, what kind of other requirements are there because of space constraints.
That's so interesting, Rick. You've spent 25 years working with customers to solve both business and technical challenges. You've also seen the evolution of the construction sector. In your current role, when you look towards the future of construction, what are you most excited about?
The virtual reality is tremendous. What we're doing today, people could come out to our job sites and it's amazing what they'd see. Another thing is the augmented reality. So from a support perspective, both from a technology side of the house or a centralized management side of the house, somebody can put a headset on, walk through the plant, and troubleshoot, help be that hands and feet for the people centrally located to help troubleshoot environments. So tremendous amount of technology needed as we're building it out, and once the plants are built and the customer takes over.
Capacity to do that must also save companies a lot of money.
Yeah, we can look at it from a centralized management perspective. You don't need nearly the people out at the job sites. You keep a key group of people centrally located, supporting multiple plants. It's just amazing, some of this technology that we're utilizing now.
James, same question that I asked Rick before, which is, what are you most excited about when we think about the future of construction?
Yeah, you know what? I think I agree with a lot of Rick's points. What we're seeing in the construction industry is the emergence of digital twin technology. So I think Rick touched on it earlier. In pre-construction, the architect comes up with the, building information model or CAD drawings of the actual, multifamily building or condo or industrial plant or whatever the project may be. But then as the project's ongoing, there are changes to the design that just happen in the real world that can't be anticipated in pre-construction. And so using digital twin technology and generative AI along with AI and ML technology, we can now make, quick decisions in terms of modifications of the job site that then improve the overall project schedule and reduce operational efficiencies. But all of these generative AI models, digital twins, simulations, everything that we're doing with virtual design and construction is only good as the data that it's based on. And that's where Dejero comes in. So Dejero actually has the ability to reliably deliver that data from the edge back to the cloud. So these digital twin, virtual reality, all of these technologies exist in the cloud, can be processed on reliable data sources. And so that's where we're really excited about this whole, virtual design and construction space.
Thank you to both of you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
For more information about critical connectivity solutions for construction sites or to book a demo, head to dejero.com.